All right, so Kyle Morgan with Blue Bearing Solutions here with EOTECH, and we're going to talk about and show what I carry in my truck and why. From the video that we did before with EOTECH, I laid out a bunch of things that I carried in my vehicle or for certain situations, but I want to highlight how I configure that into my vehicle. Just like anything, any tool or technique, if you don't practice it or if it's not there when you need it, what is it? It's a museum piece. It's cool to look at. It might be expensive, and you're bragging about why you have it, but it's not there when you need it, and you don't know how to use it. So this is a way that I have my vehicle set up so things are there if I need them, when I need them. All right, so F-150 personal vehicle. A big thing with I have a family, all right? So there's two things, right? I still need the use of this back seat, I was searching around for different things, and I'm going to show you what I came up with, and we'll put some info in the caption of the video that so you guys can check it out yourselves too. And then the ability to safeguard it, right? So like I don't want someone that I love to get to it, right? Without that being the intended. And then the other side of it is someone breaks in my vehicle, right? This is gonna slow them down. But overall, like the standard stuff that I have in my vehicle, I got a med kit there. There's a breaching tool there with a sling, which I'll talk about. Tire plug kit, underneath the back seat, you can see on both of these sides, so I have jumper cables, a portable jack, like a bunch of different things, some signal flares. So those are just some general things, ability to inflate a tire, to plug it and to inflate it. But like I was mentioning about this case, it's a metal case that has two sections, and there's combo locks, not keys, because one of the things when you're in these fight, flight, or freeze spaces, like those fine motor skills are going to be, little things become more difficult. So I wanted number combos, right? And it's just a turn system to be able to take the latches off and then lift it up, right? So as I come across here, I have, from this end, I have my pistol belt with my pistol, extra magazines, whatever the kit that's on my pistol belt. I got my ballistic helmet with hearing protection. I got my body armor with 2 extra rifle mags, and then I have a fold AR that folds up really nicely in here, and I'll explain that on the tailgate. The box that we're talking about here is made by Tuffy. I got this thing on Amazon. I want to say it was $500 or so. But one of the things I had to order the number combos in replace of the key locks, so it's a little bit more than that. But then now I have the number combinations, but the install piece of this was huge. All you have to do is 2 screws, 2 bolts, right, on the rear seat. You basically have to take those out all the way, and then this thing slides right in, and then you'll put that same bolt back in, so no new hardware. And then once you've mounted that to the rear seat anchors, then there's just some dial knobs right here that you tighten the box on, so it's really easy to take out. If I need to pull it out for whatever reason, it's not some like emotional event to be able to take this thing out. I'm gonna pull a few things out. I'm gonna go from the front to back of the items, and just so you guys know what items they are and then what accessories I use on those. All right, so now we're gonna talk about some of the gear that we just showed you in the back of the truck inside of the rear seat box made by Tuffy. The first thing we're gonna talk about is the gun belt that we use. We still use sub-second Operator 3.0. It's one of my favorite gun belts with the inner belt system. I actually have a sub-second inner belt EDC belt, right, that works as an inner belt if I don't have mine with me, but also has the ability to flip it and then look more like a casual belt. With this system, it's load rated. I know Jeff does some really high quality stuff there. So the next thing I want to talk about is the spike that I carry on my belt. It's Danny at Survival Art. He custom makes these things. It's a spike, so it doesn't have an edge, but it has a really pretty sharp point to be able to in a close entanglement kind of thing. and be able to get to it with either hand if my support hand or my firing hand gets tangled up with something. The holster, Safariland holster, we're running a Staccato 2011P here with an EOTECH E-Flex red dot sight, 3 MOA, and a Surefire X300. A big fan of this gun. With this optic is hands down one of my favorite combos out there. You get that scaled down version of what I'm used to for years and years with the EXPS3, a scaled down version with the E-Flex as a pistol red dot sight. Wilder Tactical is the drop here with the leg strap. I like this leg strap because it actually swivels. So if I'm seated, it's not like super uncomfortable. And then all the accessories that are on this belt are actually Wilder Tactical. To include, I don't know the nomenclature of all these things, but the Stop the Bleed kit, the dump pouch, the 5.56 mag holder, and then the 9mm mags. What I like about the Wilder stuff is it has the ability, especially when I made the switch from SIG to Staccato for my pistol, you'd have to get all new holders, but with these, it's just a cinch of a bungee, and then you can adjust the amount of friction for that pistol model, or excuse me, that pistol mag model. All right, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is the ballistic helmet. Team Wendy Exfil, I think it's the SL version. It's a lighter version of their other ballistic helmet. It's one of my favorite helmets based on how comfortable the harness is. It's padded appropriately. Yeah, go out there and check these guys out. The Ear Pro I'm using is Auto Engineering. They are like one of my favorite Ear Pro, from a hearing protection to a noise quality of the surrounding environment. They are one of the best, and they make their own Team Wendy mounts for the helmet mount itself. So the battery pack is a Licentia Arms battery pack / counterweight kit. It's got a cold weather battery pack in it for my 1531s from Licentia Arms. All right, so on the top of the helmet we have a strobe. So it has infrared and then the ability to have a visible strobe. It's a Hellstar 5. The body armor I'm using is a Faro Concept FCPC plate carrier with 2 extra PMags. This is a Winkler knife here, a dagger that they made for us. Some handcuffs, handcuff key in here. I have a compass, a Sunto, a small one, and then an extra little pin. Have the ability to drop this down and use this as if I need to do some sort of navigation, I can use that and have that kind of ATAC or whatever, kind of display for myself here. That's actually from a Cry Precision accessory kit. On the back, you have the 3-banger pouch back panel with an accessory pouch. I have a small little wedge in here, a door stop basically, or a purchase point wedge, and then 2 extra flex cuffs mounted on the back here. And the ballistic plates that are in this, I'm not going to pull them out, but they are Blaze Defense level 3s. The last 2 things I'm going to talk about are, before I talk about the rifle, I'm actually going to deploy it and show you guys. I want to talk about one of the breaching tools that we swear by and that we use. We're going to run a joint course with this company, Jersey Tactical. In my opinion, they're the best at teaching patrol forcible entry techniques with this claw, right? So this is a sling system that they've developed. This thing is extremely, you can be very technical with this. But also, even with minimal training, this thing is extremely effective. I've never seen a breaching tool that's a Halligan type tool that's as effective as this claw, Jersey Tactical. They have a wedge. This purchase point wedge allows me to use this solo by myself and defeat outward opening doors, like heavy outward opening doors. The next thing we're gonna talk about is the Fold AR. It's the assault rifle that I carry in the truck there. One thing of note, I feel because of the fact that I have almost 7,000 rounds through this rifle, that this should be on the back of every SRO, every school resource officer that we have in this country, because it's there when you need it. With practice, it's gonna be a forcing function for the SROs to get the training that they've always needed and deserve. Because you put an assault rifle on them, and people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, they need training. They've always needed training. All our law enforcement, they need to be invested in, right? And training being one of the most important things. But this tool allows you to pack down a full-length rifle, assault rifle, into a small bag, as you can see. And it's pretty simple the way it's deployed, so I'm just gonna go through this movement. I would charge it, extend the stock, any other housekeeping, release the sling itself, and then now I'm ready to go, right? Make sure my optic is good, I'm happy, and then I can rotate the light around, and now I have the ability to discriminate a threat and non-threat in a mixed lighting condition. So kind of talking about the gun itself, full AR, the way they've designed this it's mind-blowing, the engineering that goes into this, but it works, man. I've shot, like I said, almost 7,000 rounds through this one. It shoots extremely tight. So on the front of this thing, we have a Helios direct thread suppressor by CGS, Surefire Mini Scout Pro with a Unity tactical tap switch or a push switch, True North Concepts front handguard. So the sling attachment is a Blue Force gear attachment, which allows us to, which is important for this system because you don't have a lot of purchase on this side because when you fold it, you can't have a lot of things sticking out. And it's a Wilder tactical sling. We have EOTECH EXPS3 holographic sight with a G43 3x magnifier with a Unity tactical fast optics riser and a flip to center. Keeps everything nice and streamlined. Backing up even further, you have a Magpul CTR buttstock, and that's the setup. There's only a few things you have to consider as you. I wanted to make this thing as close to my normal rifle as far as the setup and touch points. There's a few things you got to consider. The fact that it folds on this side at the barrel, where the barrel nut would be. So those are the items that I have in that box in my truck. And then, like I said in the beginning, you know, like any tool, it's got to be there when you need it, and you need to know how to use it. So hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a follow on social media. Follow us on Patreon, Blue Bearing's Patreon, for a ton of remote-based training, our fellowship Zooms. It truly is a way to continue to train and just have a plan when you go to different range days and CQB days. There's a ton of stuff on there. But thank you, EOTECH, for everything that you're doing, and let's all just continue to train.